How to manage a team, how to motivate a team. If you want answers to these two, watch this video part 2 of Project Choose Discomfort, where I share all my learnings from my experiences and experiments in leadership as experienced on Imagine Nepal. So, what are some of the things I learned about team management? 4 parts. Number 1, select the best. I am extremely grateful that I was given the best team. The organizers found these people from me, from within their circle, people who they had been previously working with, and they were all very wonderful to work with. I had Amar and Suraj as my cinematographers, Sudeep as my editor, Divas and Kriti within my own team, people who I had been working with for a while, and finally, of course, Kalpana ji, who was our travel guide. It was a small team, perhaps one of the smallest teams, yet it was a team that worked well. Why? Because we managed to do number 2. Number 2 was show them the vision. I believe a team cannot work if everybody doesn't have the same vision in their minds. How did I manage to showcase to a group of strangers the same vision? This we did in 2 parts. I organized 2 lunches. First lunch was more like an icebreaker. We all got to know each other. We all got to understand where we were from, what value we could add, what we brought to the table. And in the second lunch, I literally sat down the entire team and I discussed with them the plans and the creative ideas I had for my scripts. Some of them came up with very nice inputs. We included most of them because truly all these people are champions, and the fact that they contributed so much meant a lot to me. The third thing we did was we actually decided, and this wasn't more like a verbal discussion, but we came up with a vibe for the team. You know, every team, every country, every company has a vibe, a culture, something that means them, something they identify with. When I think about what was the vibe of my team, it would be humor. Because every time we got into a difficult situation, we would diffuse it with humor and we would forget about what happened in the past and just move forward. So for us, within the first 2 lunches itself, we managed to set a good team vibe, a good feel of humor. Everyone felt like family, everyone was comfortable around one another. And I thought that was one of the greatest victories we had as team members. Number 4, I also sort of established for myself only a few ground rules that would ensure that we had open conversations. You see, as a person, 3 things are very important for me. Number 1, efficiency. You work, you got to work efficiently. Number 2, honesty. Number 3, open conversations and transparency. So I decided that it was only if these 3 things were not being met that I would have a conversation with my team. Apart from that, they could do just what they did and they could just enjoy themselves, because ultimately travel is also about creating memories, about having fun. So if these 3 things were being compromised, I would have a conversation with my team. But apart from this, I was okay with just about everything else. At this point, it's super important for me to mention that there were 2 very important people who helped in building up this team. Both my cinematographers, Amar and Suraj. Why I mention them is because both of them put in a lot of effort in asking me questions. Every time I said something and they were not sure, they would stop me, correct me, ask me questions. And I realized that this sort of question answer method helped me introspect a lot and gave me a lot more clarity on my own thoughts. So Amar was like the vice captain of the team, and just the fact that he was there to always keep asking me questions really helped. I suggest that for anybody in a leadership position, make sure that your team feels comfortable enough to ask you a lot of questions, because these questions also sometimes help you clarify the vision that you have for the entire team in your mind, and then to communicate the same. They also asked a lot of questions, which means they felt very included. They felt like they were contributing, and I love that. I truly enjoyed this kind of close-knit creative process that we had developed together. So there you have it, 4 steps for team management. Number 1, select the best people. Number 2, show them all the right vision. Number 3, set up the vibe very well. And number 4, very importantly, make sure that you have set for yourself a few parameters on which you're going to have open conversations. But apart from that, just let them be, trust them that they do their job well. So how do you motivate a team? This is a very important thing, because I feel that until and unless the entire team is motivated, until and unless everyone has the right vision, you can't achieve what you want to. When I decided that this team of complete strangers needed to be motivated, we did a few very simple, very easy things. Number 1, we gave ourselves a name, and our team name, code name that we had for ourselves was Champions. It was everywhere. Wherever we spoke about ourselves, we were like, okay guys, Champions, what's up? or champs or something like that. Even the editor, on his files, he saved all our files as champs. So champions was the code we were giving each other. Number two, every day or almost every day before we started shooting, we would huddle. We would do this huddle and we would come together, and I would always say something to pep everybody up. And I would always end with, guys, I trust you and I love you. And I think this just made us feel closer to one another. We also always said something like, how's the Josh at the end, just to get people going, just to make everyone sort of end on a high note. The third thing we also did was we celebrated. I'm going to talk a lot more about this in one of the later videos, but every time we did something small, something big, something good, something we were happy about, we celebrated. We celebrated one birthday party, we celebrated when we won a particular video. We just spared no occasion, no opportunity to celebrate. And I think these celebrations sort of kept us going because it wasn't easy at all. It was a very tiresome, grueling 4 to 5 months, but these celebrations really helped us do well. So there you have it, everything I learned about team management and team motivation on Project Imagine Nepal. I'll see you in the next video.
How's the Josh, ma'am?
Hi, sir.